Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be making kindling out of these cedar logs, well, little pieces of tree, whatever you want to call them. It just makes really good kindling, and this is just how I've been starting my fires. I've kind of just gotten in the habit of doing it, but what it'll end up being is just these little chunks of cedar wood. I don't even really measure them, or they're not all 6-8 inches, whatever. And I don't even make them big enough to go across the whole fireplace, because I find that if I'm making a fire and I just grab a handful like this, all I have to do is just make a little lean-to. You know, I'll stack one cedar, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll stack one this way and then just make a little lean-to on it on one side of the fireplace and put just a tiny chunk of fire starter under there and light it. And it gets my fires going. So, I mean, I don't really see a need to have anything bigger or whatever. This is just what I got in the habit of doing, and it's been working. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some more. Let me get the camera aimed down, and I gotta cut these pieces up into little sections, and then I can start getting them into kindling. If you were paying attention and watched my last videos, a few videos ago, this was the piece of wood that I found rotting in the woods and went ahead and cut up to bring inside and turn trash into treasure. And cedar's a pretty good wood. A lot of people find it desirable. It smells really nice. It burns easy. It's pretty pest resistant. So in my opinion, it makes a really good kindling. Okay, I know you can't see my whole face and everything, but it's kind of a predicament of, do you want to get a close-up of the action or a further back shot of the whole thing where you can't see as much detail? So I'm just going to zoom in on the action a little bit. And I'm inside my house, so let's see if I can cut this thing without making too big of a mess. This turned out to be a lot more laborious process than I had planned, so I'm going to speed it up here in a minute, and I'm not going to force y'all to watch the whole thing, but it was pretty tiring on my hands, and it just took a little bit longer. It was kind of a pain in the butt, and I didn't cut up those other little trashy twigs over there on the left. I'll just wait till I get gas for my chainsaw, and I'll just cut those into sections and burn those like they are. Okay, so coming up here, I'm about to make a mistake, and I just didn't want to trim off all of those little shavings with a handsaw. So it gets kind of messy, and you'll see I turn this thing around so I can try to push it, because I mean I can't really get the wedge centered on that little sharp piece. So I turn it around, but that sliver goes underneath the sliding hydraulic pusher, and it breaks off in there. So I mean, I left this in here because if you have a Harbor Freight log splitter, or really any log splitter, this could be relevant too. This could be important, something to watch out for, because it slides underneath the hydraulic ram, and then now it doesn't slide backwards as easily, but here it goes. So if you have a log splitter, this is something you might want to avoid.
I just don't want to mess with that thing. There we go. Oh, great. Oh, great. Something else to fix. That thing just jammed under here. Now I'm going to have to get something and try to free it up. It's actually kind of good. It's holding it from going back. There's another one.
Yes, I know these pieces of wood look stupid and they're messy, but I was really sick of hand sawing, and my hands were tired, and it was just annoying using that handsaw. So I was just going to try to work around those little pieces. I thought, it's such small wood that I would just be able to break it off, or it would just go through it or whatever, but it ended up costing me, and now I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out of there. I may be able to take a small pick and just pick it and pull it out, or I'll have to find a little piece of sheet metal or something that I can slide in from the back side and push it out from the front. But here's another one. I mean, I know they're stupid looking, but I was just sick of hand sawing, so I'll figure out how to get that wood out of there, and it's not a big deal. Again, it's just kindling, and those little shaving pieces will burn good anyway, so I wasn't worried about them.
These are like nails. What may be a nail? No, what is it?
all I was saying right there is I've made a pretty good amount of kindling. I filled up that bucket overflowing, and that'll be plenty of wood for next year. And it's still got to dry. I still have 2 buckets from last year, and this has to dry. It'll be good to go. This is the 2 buckets I have from last year, and this is my cat inspecting them. She has her own YouTube. If anybody's interested, I'd appreciate the subscribers. Her YouTube is Bengal Cat Adventures. I'm going to end the video with some shots of how I get my fires going, just so you can see the kindling in action. And like I said, I just kind of stack it up, usually on the left side, just because that's about all my grate has left of the mesh holder on the bottom. But yeah, I just stack it up and put a little dab of fire starter in there. And I just buy whatever fire starters are cheapest. I mean, whenever I'm in the market for fire starters, I'll look around until I find something that's just cheap or on clearance or whatever, and just buy the cheapest thing I can find. And if that's a problem, I can make fire starters as well. So anyways, yeah, you can see the little dab of fire starter in there. That's like a quarter or a third of one little tiny square, and I just light that, and it sends this cedar up in flames, and that's enough to get my fire going within minutes. And that's what it looks like after it's been burning for 30 seconds or a minute or so. And there's my cat trying to get in the fire, so I try to keep her out of there. She is a handful. Check out our YouTube. And the finished product, it spreads right across. Thanks for watching. I hope you find it enjoyable. Have a nice day.